Hi and welcome everyone to another video. My name is Denis and today I'm going to show you my team selection for Gaming 23 of Fantasy Premier League. Today we're going to talk about my plans and strategies also for the future, but now let's just jump straight into it. Okay guys, so as I said before, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today is going to be my team selection for Gaming 23 of Fantasy Premier League, but before doing that I want to discuss real short to see how Gaming 22 went for me, and as you can see from the screen it was pretty horrible. Now I got a slightly smallish, let's say, red arrow from 312k to 373, as you can see from the screen. Now if you think that getting 34 points is bad enough, just wait a little bit. Let me just show you my bench. Now bear in mind I got 34 points with my actual team, and as you can see on my bench I got 26 points. So again, you just need to laugh a little bit about those things. Again, having Dorgu, the last player on my bench, with a 15 pointer, he got a goal, he got a clean sheet, he got maximum bonus in a game against Manchester City. He playing for Manchester United, which we knew before that they were pretty terrible defensively. But anyway, I'm not mad at that. There was no way I was going to play Dorgu against Manchester City, so it is what it is. He's not a big factor in my radar, let's say, but it's just funny that my bench pretty much almost matched my actual squad. Now, as you can see from the screen, this was a pretty terrible gaming for me. I think that I was a little bit unlucky. Now, I don't want to you to have pity of me or something like that, but let's start with the good things, right? Raya Gabriel, double Arsenal defense. As I said it so many times, I think that this is the best way to go forward. Other than that, my defenders, apart from Dorgu, Lacroix got 1 point on the bench. Virgil van Dijk, somehow Liverpool didn't keep a clean sheet against Burnley, which, yeah, it's just horrible. 2 points. He didn't get any defensive contributions. Alderete didn't keep a clean sheet against Crystal Palace, but again, I'm not going to be mad on that. My midfield was pretty bad. My transfer for this week was actually to sell Cunha to Enzo, and Enzo was one of those players who at least got me something. So yeah, really happy to have Enzo going forward. Rogers, Foden blanked with a slightly injury. Now he's going to play against Wolverhampton, so probably I'm just going to keep him. And Sobos, like, 0 points against Burnley. Again, maybe you could argue you should have just played Anderson. He got 5 points, as you can see from my bench. Even Dubravka, I just see now on the bench almost match Raya. So yeah, that's a little bit funny. But again, Soboslai had a penalty. He hit the crossbar. Again, it was not even such a bad penalty, to say so. So again, in another day, Soboslai scored that goal. He gets I don't know, 8 9 points, something like that, and we would be looking at a nice green arrow, probably because he's a little bit of a differential at the moment. So again, this is the luck. Now as you can see from other people, a lot of people bought in Tavernier. He scored the penalty, he got injured after that. So in this game you need to have a little bit of a luck, and I agree, Soboslai is not a pick. He's not going to be in my team for a long period of time, but one of the reason I kept him was because of the penalties, because of the set pieces. uh, and yeah, he gets a penalty finally against Burnley. He just missed it. Yeah, it is what it is. You have nothing else to do about that. Liverpool also lost that clean sheet point against Burnley, so Soboslai ended up on 0 points. Now, the biggest, uh, not regret because it's such a big word, the biggest, let's say, disappointment for this gaming for me was captaining Ekitike instead of earning Haaland and getting nothing in return. That feels a little bit harsh. Again, just imagine you go against Erling Haaland, who has, I don't know, 170,000% ownership, and you look into that game because this gaming started amazing. Haaland was the first game of this gaming against Manchester United. He blanked. He was pretty much non-existent in that game. So I think that my decision to captain Ekitike was still the best decision. Again, there was a huge risk attached to that. But again, Haaland blanked, and then you got Ekitike playing against Burnley. He got some chances. He scored the goal. It was offside. I think that Ekitike, I don't know, should have scored in that goal if we look at into the expected data. If we look into the chances he had. Now, other than that, again, Liverpool weren't amazing against Burnley, but if Ekitike does something, even an assist, even anything against Burnley, captaining him would have been a huge, huge differential. I would be, I don't know, if he got 3 or 4 points, I think that I would be on a big green arrow just because I captain Ekitike instead of Haaland. So yeah, this is the biggest disappointment because the fixture was there. He played 90 minutes also Ekitike. So yeah, it is what it is. I've gone against Erling Haaland, got nothing in return. Thiago, again, I knew before that Chelsea was not going to be an easy fixture for Thiago. That's why also I wanted to sell Thiago. The fixtures are pretty terrible in the future, but again, 2 points. Not happy, not upset. Anyway, I'm happy to have Thiago for now. He's still rising in price. Now, a small red arrow for me in Gaming 22. Let's see how my team is looking like for Gaming 23. Alright, guys, now let's move and discuss and see how my actual team is looking for Gaming 23 of Fantasy Premier League. Now, just keep in mind that I have 2 free transfers and the 1.8 million in the bank. So I'm a little bit more flexible. I'm going to say to you straight from the start, I think that I'm going to roll this week, but I'm going to explain why. I'm going to explain my plans and strategies for the future. I think that Gaming 23 is a pretty rubbish gaming to, I don't know, to buy a defender, to buy a midfielder. If you want to buy a striker, who are you buying? Because from Gaming 24 onwards, there are going to be some swings. As you may know, Chelsea, Manchester United, there are a lot of swings, a lot of teams are going to get on a better fixture run. Now, in Gaming 23, we're going to discuss if I want to make some moves, but let's just discuss about my team. Raya Gabriel, really happy with double Arsenal defense for the moment. As I said before, Raya is not worth the value, but again, I know that for sure he's going to start at least, and he's not a priority sell for me. Let's talk a little bit about my defense because as you can see from the screen, here on the Fantasy Football Hub, if you want to check this app, you have the links into my description. They are recommending me to play Lacroix over Virgil van Dijk, and that again maybe makes a lot of sense. I know that a lot of people are frustrated with Virgil van Dijk. He was a rubbish pick in the last few gamings, but probably I'm leaning towards just starting Virgil van Dijk against Lacroix. Now, I get it, Lacroix is much, much better for defensive contributions. Even though that fixture is against Chelsea, Lacroix is likely to hit defensive contributions, and Virgil van Dijk was pretty bad at them in the last few fixtures, so I get that why they are recommending me to play Lacroix. I still think that slightly Bournemouth away is a slightly better fixture for a clean sheet. Again, Liverpool kept a clean sheet against Arsenal away. They didn't keep a clean sheet against Burnley. They are a really unpredictable team this season in general. But I think that Liverpool are more likely to keep a clean sheet than Crystal Palace. Again, Crystal Palace, they have a lot of problems at the moment with Gay leaving, with Oliver Glasner. That's a lot of things in the air there at the moment. The same for Bournemouth. Tavernier is injured. They have some injured players. It's not such a bad time to play Bournemouth. Now, am I really confident Virgil van Dijk is going to keep a clean sheet? No, I'm not confident. Again, if Liverpool didn't keep that clean sheet against Burnley, I'm never going to be confident. Yes, this is the game. Liverpool are going to keep a clean sheet, but I'm still going to play Virgil van Dijk. I still think that he's better in the air at attacking threat than Lacroix. He still can get defensive contributions. He's not out of the question. So yeah, at the moment I'm playing Virgil van Dijk. I'm going to talk also again. Maybe you think that I should just sell him, and I agree. At some point, Virgil van Dijk is just going to go. But if I was to sell him this week, which defender I'm going to buy? I'm not going to triple up, I think, on Arsenal, although I could just go Virgil van Dijk to Timber, and that wouldn't be that bad. But I don't want to block myself from this triple up from Arsenal. I don't want to, I don't know, have to make more transfers in the future because if I'm going to have Roy Gabriel Timber, then maybe Arsenal are going to have a double in Gaming 26. Then maybe I want to have someone like Rice. Maybe I want to have someone like Bukayo Saka, and that's going to mean selling Raya and upgrading another midfielder. That's an extra transfer in plus. So I'm not sure if I want to go that route at the moment. And it's also Manchester United at home. It's not like it's such an amazing fixture, and having 3 Arsenal defenders against Man United, I don't know, maybe it's not the smartest idea. Gay, again, if he's going to start, he could be okay, but the features for City are not amazing. Chaloba would be the defender I would like to buy for the future. I'm just going to say to you, but is Crystal Palace away for Chaloba such a much better fixture than Bournemouth away? I don't think so. I think that's actually a worse fixture, a weaker fixture than Virgil van Dijk. So that's why probably, yeah, Senesi against Liverpool, Chow against Aston Villa. Yeah, I'm not going to buy. I'm not going to use the transfer to buy a defender this gaming. So therefore, I'm just going to play Virgil van Dijk probably or Lacroix. Dorgu, again, I think that he's going to start against Arsenal away, but I just think that there's no way I'm going to start Dorgu, so he's going to be probably the last on my bench. Alderete against West Ham away. It's not an amazing fixture. It's away. I can see West Ham scoring all the bad stuff, but Alderete is still okay. And yeah, I'm just going to play him. Other than that, my midfield at the moment, Enzo Fernandez, I'm going to play him. Foden, there's a big discussion about Foden. A lot of people probably sold Foden to Bruno Fernandes. I'm not going to do that. I just don't see any reason to do that, especially because Bruno Fernandes is going to play against Arsenal away. That's the only problem. If, I don't know, Bruno had a better fixture, then maybe I would think about it. But Foden is in the squad for the Champions League. City are going to play tonight. Let's see how many minutes he's going to get. If not, if I would be freeting, who would you prefer? Foden against Wolverhampton at home or Bruno Fernandes against Arsenal away? Now on a free, definitely I would just have Foden. If he's fit, if he's available, I'm just going to risk it. And then probably in Gaming 24, the plan is to sell Foden to Bruno Fernandes. But yeah, there's no way I will sell Foden if he's fit and available for this fixture. Rogers, not a great fixture. Newcastle away is a tough place to go, but then playing Soboslai, I think that I'm just going to play Rogers against Newcastle away. I know that he's going to play 90 minutes every gaming. And actually, I think that a lot of people are going to buy Rogers in the future. I'm happy that I have him already, so I don't have that headache. Brentford, Bournemouth, Brighton, Leeds, Wolverhampton. The fixtures are pretty decent for Aston Villa. And currently, I'm playing Anderson over Soboslai. Now, Mohamed Salah is going to be back from AFCON. I'm not sure if Mohamed Salah is going to go straight up into that 11. So Soboslai could still be on penalties for this fixture, but the thing is, we don't even know if Soboslai is going to keep the penalties after he missed one. McAllister could take it, Ekitike could take it. There are a lot of good takers in that team for Liverpool, sorry. And if Mohamed Salah is going to be on the pitch, probably he's going to take the penalty. So there's no debate there. At the moment, I'm currently playing Anderson against Brentford away. Good for DEFCON, good fixture. Yeah, I just think that Anderson makes a lot of sense for me to play. Haaland is going to be my captain this week, so no more risk this week. Wolverhampton at home. Let's see how many minutes and if any Haaland gets in the Champions League against Bodo, I think. But he's going to be my captain. Probably the fixture is just too good. No worth taking the risk. Thiago against Nottingham Forest at home. The last good fixture for Thiago. After that, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with him, but maybe I'm just going to keep and maybe bench, maybe not. But this fixture is okay. Ekitike, I'm just going to play him. Bournemouth away until Alexander Isak is going to be back fit available. I think that Ekitike is not a bad actual forward, honestly, to have in FPL. Now, if I'm going to need the money at some point, I'm going to sell him. But this week, doesn't make a lot of sense. As I said before, Bournemouth away is not a bad time to play Bournemouth. I think that's okay. Ekitike is getting chances, he's getting good minutes. Yeah, so pretty much that's it for me this gaming. If I want to, I could just do Foden to Bruno, as I said before, but I'm not going to do that. I could do Soboslai to Rice. But is that worth a transfer? Soboslai to Rice just to bench Anderson, who's playing against Brentford away and is a really similar player to Declan Rice. I'm not sure if that's worth making the transfer. I want to wait to get more information, and I'm going to have 3 free transfers by Gaming 24, and then I'm going to use them. A lot of people, as you may know, are going to use their wildcards in Gaming 24, and I think that I should just say I'm not going to use probably my wildcard in Gaming 24. I just think that my team is pretty similar to how a wildcard team would look like in Gaming 24. Now, again, it's not going to be exactly the same, but I think that my team is good enough to not use the wildcard in Gaming 24. So probably at the moment, another really popular strategy is to use your wildcard in Gaming 32. Because probably in Gaming 31 we're going to have a blank gaming, so that end in Gaming 31 I'm maybe going to upload a video. I'm not sure if this week or maybe next week, discussing about chip strategies and how the blanks and doubles are going to align. But another popular chip strategy is dead end your team in Gaming 31, wildcard 32, bench boost wherever a double gimmick is going to be, and free it in another blank gimmick, which I think that is most probably going to be 33 or something like that. So yeah, we're going to discuss about that on another day. Other than that, yeah, I don't want to buy Palmer. I don't want to buy Chaloba against Crystal Palace away. I don't want to sell Ekitike. I don't want to sell Foden. So pretty much for me, it's an easy roll this gaming. And if we move to gaming 24, here is when I'm going to have three free transfers, 1.8 millions in the bank. Now, the most likely transfer for me in Gaming 24, the first one, is going to be probably Foden to Bruno Fernandes. The fixtures for City are not great. As you may know, Spurs, Liverpool, Fulham, Newcastle, Leeds away. And for Bruno Fernandes, he's going to play as number 10. He was on my plans anyway, even if he was playing a deeper role. But I think that now he's going to be better. He's going to play a more advanced role. We saw against Man City, maybe United are going to play better under Carrick. It seems like at least, but let's see some games. And Bruno Fernandes is, I don't know, just the best player to have from Manchester United. And because we don't have a lot of good options in midfield, you have the money to spend. So you don't need to think about, I don't know, having Mohamed Salah, having Hyun-Min Son, having Saka, Palmer, all these players into your team, because at the moment none of them are performing well. So you have a lot of money to go for Bruno Fernandes. Fulham, Spurs, West Ham, Everton, Crystal Palace is just a great run of fixture. United doesn't have any Europe games, so they're going to be fresh. So yeah, this is going to be my first transfer probably. Now, if we make this transfer, I could play with this team honestly. Alderete against Burnley, Lacroix against Nottingham Forest. I have also Virgil van Dijk against Newcastle at home. Gabriel and Raya against Leeds. Yeah, this team is okay. If I'm forced to play Henderson against Crystal Palace, is okay. But of course, probably I'm going to make other moves. Now, um, into the discussion is going to be if I want to go for Palmer. One way to do, the only way to do that is by selling Ekitike. So let's say Soboslai to Palmer and Ekitike to Krupi Juniors. He actually may have a chance of being on penalties, Krupi Juniors. That would be just ridiculous at that price, 4.6 millions, I think. So that would leave me with 1.4 millions in the bank. Now, this is an option using my three free transfers if I want to go for Palmer. But at the moment, I'm not sure if I want to go for Palmer. So again, let's see. Let's see. The fixtures are just amazing for Chelsea, West Ham, Wolves, Leeds, Burnley. But the thing is, Palmer, after he played in Game 22, he looked devastated. I think that he's tired. I think that he's playing with a lot of pain because of that injury. So again, is he going to play 90 minutes every game? Probably not. Is still he on penalties? Yes, we saw last game that again with Palmer, you know that he's on penalties. Talking about someone like Bukayo Saka, who probably is going to share the penalties. So let's say I'm not going to do those moves. Ekitike, I need to say also that if I need to keep Ekitike, I don't think that he's a bad striker. Again, you don't have a lot of better strikers than Ekitike. Now, I understand why. If I need the money to upgrade elsewhere, I'm going to sell him. The fixtures are horrible. I mean, not horrible, but Newcastle at home and City are not the best fixtures. But Ekitike, I think that he's a really good pick. And a lot of people are overlooking it. He's kind of a mini differential, let's say. And from Gaming 26 onwards, the fixtures are really good for Liverpool, Sunderland, Nottingham Forest, West Ham, Wolves, and the fixtures are getting better also. So if I'm forced to play to keep Ekitike, that's not going to be the end of the world because my team is pretty okay. Now, if I'm not going to sell Ekitike, if I don't want to go for Palmer, I could just go Virgil van Dijk to Chaloba. Now, probably this is the most likely. I need to decide if I want to make a defensive transfer, but Virgil van Dijk, because of my rotation with the other defenders, because I have someone like Dorgu, I'm not sure if he's going to keep his place. I feel like I need to make a defensive transfer, and I could sell Lacroix, but selling Lacroix before Burnley at home and Wolves at home in Game 26-27, I just don't really want to do that. So I might as well just sell Virgil van Dijk, save some cash also by going Chaloba. If you look at other defenders, Munoz definitely is going to be another one to look for, but doubling up for Crystal Palace at the moment, considering what's going on there, yeah, I'm not sure, but Munoz definitely is one to consider. Other than that, yeah, there aren't a lot of options. Senesi is going to be another one, but again, is he much better than Chaloba? Probably not. Probably not. Wolves, Aston Villa, Everton, West Ham, Sunderland, Brentford. To be honest with you, the features for Senesi are actually good, are really good, and he's better for defensive contributions. But this would be my option. So let's say Senesi or Chaloba if I want to buy a defender, or Munoz if I really want to go aggressive. And that would leave me with another transfer to make. Now, another player who I want to sell is Soboslai. If I'm forced to keep him on the bench, that's not the end of the world. Tavernier would have been a nice swipe from Soboslai, but Tavernier just got injured. So that's another reason why I want to wait till Gaming 24 before making my moves, because as you may know, there a lot of players could just get injured, and yeah, it's not a great feeling. Now, if I want to go for a midfielder, I will have 8 million. So let's put it here. The obvious move would be to just go for Rice. Now, if I want to go for Rice, yeah, let's say I don't want to go for Palmer. I just say, yeah, I'm just going to go for Rice, Chaloba, and the other transfer I made, which I forgot. Yeah, Foden to Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes, I think that he's definitely going to be in my team. Semenyo is another option, probably not going to go there. Njae, Bruno Guimaraes, not going to go there. Gakpo, not going to go there. Ahmad could be a nice option at that price, 6.2 millions, but yeah, at the moment we're not sure enough. I have Rogers already. Shade is okay. Gordon, no way. I'm going to go that. Cunha, I just sold. Dango is still okay. Yeah, there aren't a lot of good options to go to. Now, again, Manchester United, I can't really afford someone like Mbeumo. Wilson is also okay if I want to save up some cash. Someone like Mbeumo is 8.1. So, yeah, I think that I can't afford that. Again, I'm not sure if I want to double up on Manchester United attack, although they were a really good side attacking wise this season. So, and Mbeumo, I think that he's the second best attacker for Manchester United to have at the moment. But the most obvious move would be for me to just go for Rice. Let's say I'm going to make this transfer. In this with these transfers, I'm just going to keep Ekitike probably for the foreseeable future, if nothing else is going to change in Gaming 23. So I'm most likely going to play Ekitike most games, Haaland, Ekitike, and Thiago also. I'm going to have Rice and Anderson maybe to rotate. Although probably I will just play Bruno Fernandes, Enzo, Rice, and Rogers for all the games. And maybe if I want to bench someone like Thiago, let's say against Arsenal, against Newcastle away, and yeah, I could just play Anderson. Elliot Anderson against Leeds, against Wolverhampton. So that's another possibility for me. Here I could play also Lacroix if I want. So this would be my team for Gaming 24. I think that it looks solid. Honestly, what you're missing is, I don't know, Bukayo Saka, Cole Palmer, maybe Watkins, but that's it. I think that's it what I'm missing with this team. Obviously, maybe someone like Timber instead of Raya would be a little bit better, but you know, if we go to Gaming 25, this would be my team. Chaloba Enzo with great fixtures, Gabriel Raya Rice with great fixtures. Ekitike is going to play against Man City. Now, at this point, if I want to sell him to, I don't know, someone like Watkins, but with Watkins, I just think that Aston Villa are going to sign another striker, maybe someone like Mateta, maybe someone like Tammy Abraham. But I don't think that his minutes are going to be super secured. But yeah, from Gaming 25, if I want to go for Watkins, Bournemouth, Brighton, Leeds, Wolves. The fixtures are great for Aston Villa, but again, is it worth making the transfer? I'm not sure. Someone like Rupi Juniors also is a player I would love to have into my team, but again, is he better than Ekitike? Is he better than Thiago? Probably not. So yeah, this would be my team. I will have also Anderson against Leeds away. If we move to Gaming 26, my team again would look pretty nice. Lacroix against Burnley, Gabriel, Chaloba. Uh, yeah, Bruno Fernandes against West Ham, Haaland against Fulham. Ekitike, the fixture run starts better for Liverpool now. Now here, probably at the moment, if you ask me, I would play Anderson instead of Thiago against Arsenal at home, and my team would also look nice. If someone like Dorgu is nailed by this time, if I'm going to be confident about him playing, I don't know, a winger. for Michael Carrick, then I could just play Dorgu instead of Anderson, honestly. Or yeah, pretty much it. The other players I would just play them probably, and I could save some transfers in this period because the fixtures for Chelsea are great for 4 game weeks, as we know. So I could just play them every fixture. Lacroix against Wolverhampton, Gabriel, Rice and Raya against Spurs away. Again, not the best fixture for a clean sheet, but with Arsenal, yeah, you have no problem with playing double Arsenal defense. I have Dorgu against Everton. Um, yeah, Rogers against Leeds, Thiago against Brighton. Yeah, the fixtures, the team just looks okay. Again, I thought my team was looking okay for Game Week 22 also, and I scored just 34 points. Again, you need to have some luck in FPL, but what I try to do, try to play for the fixture. Again, if there's a good player who has also good fixtures, I'm expecting a player to do good, so I'm just going to jump on the fixture swings. Now, again, if there is a player who, I don't know, is scoring every game week like Erling Haaland, I'm not going to care that much about the fixture. But again, now in game week 28, here is when the team doesn't look that great, right? Chalobah, Enzo, Raya, Gabriel, Rice. These 5 players are playing against each other. If I want, again, I could play someone like Anderson instead of Rice. I could play someone like Alderete instead of Chalobah. Probably that's what I would do here. But by game week 28, I'm going to have so let's say 24, I'm going to spend to use 3 free transfer, 25, 26, 27. I'm going to have 4 free transfer for this fixture. Again, the Arsenal players, I don't have a problem with keeping them. If I want to sell some Chelsea players by this fixture, then yeah, I could just sell Chalobah, I could just sell Enzo Fernandez. Ekitike, Thiago, and Haaland, this front three looks great for gaming 28, to be honest with you, playing against Leeds, Burnley, and West Ham. So yeah, not a lot of things I would like to change. Of course, again, if injuries and other problems are going to crop up by this picture, by this period, most likely. So I'm going to need to use some of those 4 transfers. But again, the team looks okay. Currently, this is my plan to roll, have three free transfers for gaming 24, and then let's see if I want to go for Palmer. I can do that by selling Ekitike. If not, I'm just going to buy Chalobah, probably buy Rice, or let's see if other players are going to interest me enough. Thanks a lot for watching this video this long. Really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like, hit that subscribe button, hit that hype button YouTube just had. Also check my memberships if you want to support the channel even more. That would be really much appreciated, and I'm going to see you next time. Bye. Bag gura lor, când mă întreabă oamenii de unde sunt le zic de va. Apoi îmi bag gura lor.